Coming off yet another dominant win for RCR at a Superspeedway, the NASCAR Xfinity Series heads to COTA for the third race of their season with probably the most stacked field we've seen in years. We have a wild mix of current and future Cup Series stars as well as multiple road course ringers. But most importantly, we have a bunch of new paint schemes to review. Let's go. So somebody over at Haas Factory Team must have got the memo because they remembered to put their paint schemes on NASCAR.com this week. And it just so happens that Sheldon Creed is bringing a fresh new sponsor with him to COTA. We watched Ty Majeski win a Truck Series championship with Road Ranger as a sponsor. Could this be good chakra for Sheldon Creed? Only time will tell. I appreciate the effort on this paint scheme, but it's just okay. 6. I'm pretty close to the point with Carson Kvapil where I'm just going to give him a 10 and move on. 10. I'm a guy that really likes to look at trends and signs, and obviously Austin Hill's gone back-to-back at Daytona and Atlanta for like the last 6 years. So I really thought when Jesse Love won at Daytona, that would mean that it was his turn to go back-to-back. I was wrong. 8. Not to say I was happy to see Parker Retzlaff wreck out at the end of that race, but I wasn't upset. You see, I took Parker for a top 5 at Daytona, and it never even came close. So when I saw him running in the top 5 at Atlanta, I was a little peeved. It's all right, though. I won't make that mistake again. 9. Now listen up real quick. The integrity of these videos might be in danger. Because obviously my boys over at SS Greenlight, they always make sure they get their paint schemes on NASCAR.com. But when I logged on this morning, they weren't there. I went straight to the man. He gave me proof that he sent them in. This begs the question, how many of these teams are sending their paint schemes to NASCAR.com and being ignored? I need to be put in contact with whoever's in charge of this immediately because I may have to take this bitch over. Leaving a beautiful car like this out of the paint scheme preview is not only a threat to the integrity of this program, it's a threat to democracy. So you boys over there at NASCAR, y'all better tighten up because I'm coming. This car fucks like a rabbit on Viagra. 10. So I guess Justin Allgaier is just going to run a different kind of crop every week? I kind of fuck with it. This week, he's driving the Cotton Camaro. I don't think I'm allowed to say anything else. 9. I just really don't quite understand why Junior didn't make this the all-star car. My hatred for Sammy Smith aside, he's ruining the aura of the DEI 8. Need to get a guy with some swagger in this car. Somebody like Leland Honeyman. 9. That joke I made last week about Allgaier's car looking like an alternate universe where Ross Chastain ended up in a full-time ride with Junior Motorsports has come true because this weekend is the first of a few races Ross Chastain is going to be running for Junior Motorsports. And from what I understand, all the races are going to be run with this mid-paint scheme. 7. Now, I don't recall if I mentioned it on the paint scheme review last week, but I was thinking all week long, Daniel Dye is going to get a top 10 at Atlanta. Do you think I bet on that? No, he finished 7th. I'll never learn. 9. This is Josh Williams, and he sucks on road courses. 7. For anyone that wasn't paying attention, SS Greenlight dropped some shocking news the other day when Garrett Smithley announced he would not be in the car this weekend. Instead, they're going to get Carson Hocevar to run the 14. Now, as the #1 superfan of SS Greenlight Racing, I'm obviously pretty fucking stoked right now because instead of just hoping for a top 10 this weekend, I'm going big. I'm thinking win. You know what else I think? I think Carson Hocevar sweeps the weekend. I also think Tommy's going to tell Carson this week that I'm a huge fan and we're all going to meet up at a Chili's in Homestead and get fucking wasted. And then I think we're all going to head over to the Miccosukee Casino, drunk off our ass, and they can watch me win $1 million. Then I'm going to turn around and hand Tommy $800,000 of it and become part owner. Got it all planned out. I dreamed it last night. And remember how I said the last SS Greenlight car fucks like a rabbit on Viagra? Well, imagine if that rabbit lived with Pablo Escobar. That's how hard this thing fucks. 10. And then you have Christian Eckes in this energy drink car. 3. I couldn't get to the 18 and not mention the fact that the 17 for Hendrick is running this weekend with William Byron. They just don't care about the Xfinity Series, so their paint scheme is not on NASCAR.com. Either that, or the guy at NASCAR really fumbled. Anyways, hey, this should shock nobody. This William Sawalich kid happens to be pretty good. 9. Speaking of pretty good, that's not what Riley Herbst was the last time he was in a Joe Gibbs car. But since he's back with Toyota, they're giving him another chance. Same average paint scheme. 6. Man, I'm on a roll. Speaking of average, here's Brandon Jones. 6. So they're saying Austin Hill is the greatest superspeedway racer in the history of the Xfinity Series now. It's funny though, because if he's that good, then how come Dick Childress has only put him in one Cup Series superspeedway race? 5. After watching this car at Atlanta and giving it another week to digest, it still sucks. 0. You know, the Sieg team is really funny because it's hit or miss on if their paint schemes are on NASCAR.com, but I feel like the hit rate is a lot better when they have a car that's unsponsored, which might be genius because they're like, hey guys, this car's completely fucking blank. We'll take your money. It almost looks better with nothing on it. 8. Here's your weekly reminder that Ryan Sieg is probably never going to win a race. Also, he really blew my top 5 bet. Thanks, Ryan. 8. My buddy's having a kid really soon, and he's got this thing for throw up. Anytime anyone starts hacking, or he sees it or smells it, it's all over from there. Lucky for him though, and especially his wife, this car has saved the day. Because every time this car goes around the track or is shown on TV, everyone that sees it throws up. So he's built an immunity. So thank you, Haas Factory Team, Sam Mayer, and whatever the fuck Audible is. You've cured a problem that's been around for the last 29 years. 0. I know I sound like a broken record, but am I lying when I say Alpha Prime never misses? I mean, holy shit. Way to make my job hard. That's the thing with the Xfinity Series. I feel like everyone brings their best paint schemes all on the same weekend. 10. And you know what? Not only does Alpha Prime never miss, but Brad Perez never misses. He may not run often, but when he does, you know it's going to be a beauty. 10. And then you have this. I don't drink bourbon, and now that I've seen this terrible paint scheme, I probably never will. This car looks like if Lightning McQueen ran in the back. 0. Has Jeremy Clements gotten a little bit complacent with his paint schemes? Every car he's ran so far this year with the color combination is making the foil number really hard to read. The boys are going to have to step it up if they want to become back-to-back paint scheme review champions. 8. I'm surprised it took Taylor Gray as long as it did to wreck himself at Atlanta. My buddy was in our group chat saying he was going to wreck within 3 laps. 6. Cope Family Racing has to be really happy with their performance so far. Leland Honeyman's sitting 12th in points right now. And I think I peer pressured the team into putting their paint schemes on NASCAR.com. Unfortunately, Leland doesn't have a ride this weekend because instead they have Thomas Annunziata in the car. I had to take 3 minutes of Italian lessons to be able to pronounce his last name. But with the way this car is running and some advice from Dale Earnhardt, I bet this guy to get a top 10. We'll see what happens. 8. Ryan Ellis and the boys over at DGM are real contenders for the Paint Scheme Review Championship because with this Cowboy Classic, for the 3rd week in a row, 10. Connor Zilic is running double duty this weekend, and hot take, this car looks better than the Cup car. 9. Let's name some famous kings. King Charles. Burger King. Insurance King. 9. Congrats on running good so far this weekend, but I just still cannot support the copyright infringement going on with this number. If you're going to run the 99 with that font, You gotta give Devin Moran an opportunity. 3. And after a really tight battle, a close decision, a tough one to call, the Big Baby Scumbag Paint Scheme of the Week goes to...
Money in my face, what? Hoes in my face, what? Pocket full of money, I ain't running out of space. What? Mama said, baby, you done came a long way. Woo. Still eating ramen noodles, bitch, I like the taste. Damn.